What's up, Virgo? 2026 full year astrology forecast coming to you, brought by Astro Fairy Goddess Cody. This is going to be a impact full year for you. There's so many things happening. I'm going to go over each month so that you can have a better understanding for what this year means for you, what it brings, what you have to let go of, and all the stuff in between, kind of like a sandwich. Like I'm making you a sandwich, Virgo, a healthy sandwich, don't worry. On a hero, okay. Oh my god, I'm so funny. But don't forget to share and like this video, and comment if this video resonates with you, because in this year 2026 I am trying to make my dreams a reality, set to you by Pisces rising, so you understand that this is pretty serious for me. I'm like on borderline begging for you to share my video. But anyways, let's get started, Virgo. So in January 2026, Neptune is going to enter into Aries, and Neptune is in your 8th house, as well as Saturn, but we're talking about January, right? But here it's going to bring you a lot of heightened intuition. Neptune in the 8th house is trying to dissolve any type of trauma bonding you have, childhood trauma, karmic debts, actual debts, your trust issues, your manipulation issues, anything that really makes your mental awareness shake or rattle. It is trying to dissolve this for you, but we know Neptune is going to stay in Aries for about 14 years, so it's going to be in there for a long time. But this entry is coming at a very early degree. Is 0 degrees, Virgo. So this means that you have a fresh start on your karmic debt and your karmic payout. You have risen from something that was really, really hard over, the last decade, maybe a decade and a half or something like that. You have emerged brand new and you have healed from something. And here you're going to see how you can use the healed version of you to move forward in life. Even your psyche has changed in some type of way, Virgo. So you can feel really drawn towards psychological exploration, even, getting therapy, becoming a therapist is really great for you. Just deep healing is going to happen, or even some type of financial restructuring. You want to allow a personal transformation to happen for you. You want to be very intimate with yourself, and see how your emotions and things like that come up and show up for you. You want to be very in tune with your emotions, but most importantly, very in tune with your mental mind. You want to avoid illusions and over idealizing with others and other people's emotions and merging with other people, because this is the house of merging together, and Neptune would love to just merge the physical and the spiritual together as though it is one. But it is one, right? But there is some type of boundary, and Neptune doesn't understand boundaries, but Aries luckily understands boundaries. So there is a drive to move forward, but there's also wanting to feel good and wanting to feel fulfilled by things that are mystical, but you don't want to escape into those things. So therapy can be good, or you becoming a therapist, you finding a healthy outlet, Virgo, in order to really channel this energy of Neptune being in the 8th house. So in February, Saturn is going to enter into Aries in your 8th house, and Saturn brings in that discipline structure. It brings in the discipline in your intimacy and your joint ventures with the next person. These things are really emphasized. Even financial partnerships that you try to get into, there's a responsibility that Saturn brings, and there's a structure that is required to share resources, to really spark this personal transformation. It's like you have to be responsible for yourself and responsible for your reactions, responsible for the way that you act and do things. I think that Saturn and Neptune being in the eighth house, and later, in February, it's actually going to have a conjunction, and this is going to integrate a spiritual vision with like practical responsibility. This can be regarding finances, intimacy, or transformative things that you get into, but it's at its 0 degree. This is a fresh new start or a fresh new way to look at something, Virgo, and it feels as though like your mind is extremely like refreshed. You no longer have to hold on to guilt and shame about anything that you have been involved in. And it's like there's no more heavy emotions. You have risen from something. And it's really hard to explain because the eighth house goes so deep and like dark, and there's secrets that come to light and betrayal and anything that you have been through that has really taken you for like a loop. This is where like the karmic loop stops for you, and you can begin anew, and it really feels like a fresh start for you. There's going to be a solar eclipse in Aquarius in your natal sixth house, and this is also in February. And there's new beginnings when it comes to your daily routines, your work habits, your health, and an opportunity to improve your productivity and refine your like service approach this year. You cannot overgive this year. And I feel like in the past you are overgiver. You took care of everyone. You took care of pets. You are ruled by the sixth house, and you're very in tune with what happens on a day-to-day basis, trying to keep control, and all of those things are kind of just gonna fade away. And it's like just a part of your consciousness, or you're gonna get a reward for doing these things. You're gonna see some type of like I said, some type of reward for the effort that you did put in. It's about being efficient in your natal sixth house. Aquarius has to do with the consciousness, and a solar eclipse is really a life-changing event. So something can completely change in your life, and this is in a positive way, right? Because like I said, you are ruled by the sixth house. So what you do on a day-to-day basis, it has to be something that's life-changing for you and for the next person. In March, there's going to be a lunar eclipse in Virgo, and this is you, right? There's a lunar eclipse in your sign, Virgo, and of course, lunar eclipses bring more emotional, personal combinations. Lunar eclipses bring an ending to a lot of things that you have learned and do not work for you. You've learned about yourself. People have told you, people have criticized you, people have nitpicked at you, people have tried to have control over you, tell you what to do, tell you what not to do, tell you what environment to be kept in, tell you anything about yourself. This is time when you start making choices for yourself, and you have to embrace this clear and more efficient way of expressing yourself. The lunar eclipse is just so personal and deep. I think for you, it's really hard for me to explain that one, because lunar eclipses can really bring anything. But I think that it really helps you, Virgo, let go of something that you no longer need moving forward. This is really a time for you to think that version of yourself in order to move forward with the newness that is being brought into your life. So yeah, and then there's also in March going to be a Saturn and Saturn sextiling Pluto. Excuse me, and Saturn is sitting in your eighth house. Pluto is sitting in your sixth house, and that can really spark something very, I don't want to say very transformative, because we're talking about planets that don't play, which is Saturn and Pluto. Pluto is destroyer. Saturn is the responsibility, like take responsibility for something. But a sextile is, harmonious flow. So expect some type of long-term habit to be changed, that brings more efficiencies. You making a decision to actually be more empowered in your day, be more empowered with your emotions. And that one is very personal. I will have to say again, it is very personal, but it is very life-changing because it's something that is going to happen within a day that changes your whole life for the next couple of years. But the sextile, like I said, is a good thing, but these planets, like, they don't play, so it requires you to really roll over into this transformation. And I think that you already know what it is, especially, like in March and February, you already know what it is and you already know what's coming. So it's like, let me ease you into this. And there's no way that you will be able to hold on to what is not for you, Virgo. Especially with the lunar eclipsing your sign. But this is ultimately so much better for you. Letting go of emotions, letting go of mental patterns that don't work, and it's not even necessary. In April 2026, Uranus is going to enter into Gemini, and Gemini is your natal 10th house. So if you want to change the way that your life is going, it is going to change very suddenly, very rapidly. And if you have like an early degree, if you have early degree placements or Gemini placements, please check your chart. This is really something that's unexpected. Uranus is sudden career, sudden breakthroughs, sudden shifts in your image and even your personal, like your trajectory of life, wherever you're going. There are, in the 10th house, there's like authority figures, people who think that we should respect them. But they hold some type of significance in your life because these are things or directions that you inspire to be. So bosses or, your reputation, as I say, really is going to surprise you. And you really have to embrace your life direction, and adapt to any type of unexpected opportunities that are coming for you. And Uranus being in the 10th house, you are going to be one of the signs that are not going to be doing the same thing that they were doing this year in 2025 next year. Like, it's just not gonna fly. Like, you need freedom, like you need to break free, you need to really embrace new opportunities, and your mind is going to expand, and things are going to move so rapidly fast that you got to keep up. Let's just say that you have to keep up, but in a way you will keep up because, this is ultimately going to free your mind, going to free your life direction. It's going to teach you so much. You're going to learn so much. You're going to meet different people. Like, you become the revolutionary of your own life direction. Like, you're taking charge of something. In May 2026, Pluto is going to retrograde in Aquarius. And so Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, Pluto being in Aquarius, I think is just, it's just going to be so much that changes in the next 14 years. But like, Pluto is in your 6th house. So it's like day-to-day tasks really change. It really matters what you do daily, Virgo. And I know that you already kind of know this, but if you're trying to get somewhere in 2026, or you have a passion, or there's something there, you have to get past the power struggles. You have to get past the intense emotions. Pluto in the 6th house brings up so many intense emotions and intense, we're talking about Aquarius, intense like mental mind formula. Like, your mind changes very fast and you want to do something different. Your mind is just upgrading at a very fast pace because it's connected to the collective consciousness and the sorrow and the suffering and all of the things in life, even fears is connected to, collectively, and that's on your mind, Virgo. So it's just, this is really a time for you to try to enhance your mental abilities by going to some type of therapy, doing some type of energetic work, some type of journaling. You have to write things out. You have to free your mind in order to free your soul. Okay, and that's really how you're going to grow in May. So June 2026, Uranus is going to square the North Node. So I think that relationships, they're really going to teach you a lot about this is what's going to surprise you. I think you're going to be surprised by what you learn in relationships, what you learn through other people, what you even learn about yourself through other people. Saturn is going to be in your in your seventh house, and it's moving on though, but it is almost like it's moving to your eighth, but it's almost like you're learning so much through other people but you can't let other people tell you about your truth. Your truth is your own, right? And this square, it causes challenges trying to see between the two. What is real? What's real for my life direction? It almost causes a little bit of disruption, because you're trying to get to a place, but some type of mental programming, it's hard to let go of because it came from someone, that you spend time with. It definitely depends on your chart. It can come from a best friend. It can come from an ex. This is, this is a house of other people. Uranus is, in your 10th house, already causing your life to shake. And then the North Node is still in Pisces, and it's a lot, right? Because this is your life direction, and you can't let other people tell you where your life should go. And so you have to really find some type of personal security during June or during early June, and just reassessing your priorities, and even unexpected events can help you prompt a reassessment. So really pay attention to that. Mercury is going to retrograde. Mercury is your ruler, and it's going to retrograde in Cancer. And Cancer is your 11th house. So Cancer retrograde in the 11th house. Mercury, you're learning that you must reflect on friendships. You must reflect on the people that you surround yourself with. And there could be miscommunications within groups that it's going to require your patience. It's really going to require you to open up a little bit more, to sympathy. I think sympathy is, when we talk about Cancer, having more sympathy and not speaking so much from emotions and trying to just dictate what's going on in other people's lives. I think that you just have to spend time doing reflection. Even, your ruler is going retrograde, so you will be in reflection. And it's just a time for you to really reassess the way that you're approaching your visions, you're approaching your dreams, and are other people holding you back? Do they have too many family problems? Like, do they have problems with, their mother, their children, and their home, and then they're causing problems within this vision? You're really, I'm not saying arguing with people, but you're misunderstanding them. And this is where you would have sympathy for them, Virgo. July 2026, Neptune is going to go retrograde, and this is your 8th house, right? So you're reassessing your intimacy levels, your sexuality, your shared resources, your personal transformation. You want to clarify what truly is going to serve your deeper growth. And also Jupiter is going to oppose Pluto, and Jupiter is going to be in Leo. So, let me talk about Jupiter going into Leo, and that is your 12th house. And you may want to spend a lot of time alone. Jupiter in the 12th house can bring so much information to you and insight to you. And it's not information, it's honestly wisdom and knowledge that is like wired within you now. And this is something that comes to you in private though, so it's very important for you to spend time alone this year. I think that you will find that the more you spend time alone, you can think better, you can really find direction a lot better. Anytime you don't know where to go, what to do, spend some time alone, just meditating and changing the way that you are perceiving yourself and perceiving the world. And do a lot of energy work, Virgo. I think I said it already, but do like a lot of energy work, a lot of meditating, journaling, most importantly, but anything that is, really sacred to you, doing your alone time, because that can bring you a lot of clarity about, psychological exploration, your spiritual development, your growth. Either way, your growth is going to be very rapidly fast. And this can happen through children. This can happen through your inner child, spending time doing things that are playful and fun. And just be careful about those things too, because Jupiter and Leo like to get a little bit crazy, because Leo is already a fun sign and out there sign. Jupiter is trying to expand that. But in the 12th house, they talk about, endings and karmic cycles and things of that nature. So yeah. And the Jupiter opposition to Pluto in the 6th house, 6th and 12th house, there could be tension between, this is a pretty big opposition, right? You have Jupiter as the expander and Pluto as the destroyer, and they're both pushing and pulling on each other when it comes to what are you doing on a day-to-day basis and what you're trying to hide from. That's why I said please don't try to escape into anything, but try to do things in the most healthiest way possible. Like I really, like I said, what wish you're just doing daily something. I maybe the thing that may help you the most is sound, like sound baths, sound, like listening to like the right music and things of that nature. Listening to music that makes you happy and gets you like in a good mood again. This can really help you during this time. You're balancing like personal joy, and you're like things that actually make you happy on a day-to-day basis, but also you're balancing like responsibilities and and discipline, and hidden like power dynamics can come to the surface for you. Because 6th house can be the house of like enemies, and then the 12th house can be the house of closure and selflessness and all those things. So be very mindful of what you're giving to the next person. The North Node is going to shift into Aquarius and your 6th house, and this is a karmic force that is really focused on your daily activity and your health regimen, your service, whatever you do daily. I think we're going like whatever you do daily is really going to make up your life for 2027. I think that destiny the lessons for destiny involve growth in like a professional discipline and collaborating to the collective, but in a healthy way. If you are unhealthy, you can't really give out health. You have to take care of your body and take care of yourself. And Jupiter entering into Leo, even in your 12th house, it's opposite the 6th. There's going to be a lot of spiritual expansion, inner growth, and this private opportunity to just increase your spiritual awareness. You want to reflect. You want to go on retreats. You want to retreat if you need to. You want to prepare for anything that is personally visible. So if you see patterns of, disharmony or dysfunction within the mind, or within the emotional body, or within any type of dysfunction in your life, it's going to be highlighted. But you want to take those things quite seriously, Virgo, and get ahead of them, right? So August 2026, there's going to be a lunar eclipse in your 6th house. Yes, it's really about what you do every single day. Hidden truths about their responsibilities are going to come to light. Your routines, they're going to like really start looking like they're going to start looking at you. If it's not working, it's going to start weighing down your body if it is not working. And then the solar eclipse in your sign. Remember, you had a lunar eclipse, now you're having a solar eclipse, and it's fresh starts for you, Virgo. Like, this is you being renewed now. It's like this part of the year, August and on, you really see yourself not as a wounded player or a wounded warrior. You're now seeing yourself as someone who is like truly spiritually bound to this realm in some type of way, for a purpose, for some type of movement. Your self-expression is heightened, and this is really going to spark authentic joy within you, I believe. September 2026, Uranus is going to be going retrograde in Gemini, but that's really the only thing that's going on in September, because there's a lot of lessons from Jupiter and Pluto opposition, and as well as the North Node shifting, and like even Uranus going into Gemini. It's just so many things that have happened. The solar eclipse in your sign, the lunar eclipse in your sign early in the year, but solar eclipse is something that just happened in August. There's a lot of responsibilities and like personal growth and professional growth. There is something that needs to be balanced, and it's going to require it's going to require your attention. It's going to require some type of closure. And October 2026, Venus is going to retrograde in Scorpio, and Venus retrograde in Scorpio in your natal third house. Venus can bring, it's also going to go into Libra as well, but Venus in the third house can have you want to speak at the highest level of like, compassion, and you want to bring people together. But I think that Venus is going to like bring up, is it worth having this relationship with siblings? Is it worth having this relationship with the community and people around you? I think that, she takes back a layer of persuasion and trying to charm the next person, but more trying to have this need for closure or regeneration. She's wanting you to kind of like review and revise your communication on one-on-one levels, on how you speak to people that are around you, even clarifying the intentions that other people have for you, the intentions that you have when you speak. And this can bring up some type of misunderstandings, because Mercury is also going to be retrograding in Scorpio in October. So it kind of brings up, misunderstandings and mistrust in the way that you speak, or even the people that you have around you. You can become very curious and mysterious to, just looking around you like, who do I have around me? Who do I have talking to me? You become like hyper aware of the psychological distress that other people can put on another person. And you're not really speaking from a place of bringing other people together. I think that when the retrograde is over in November 2026, that this is when you're going to have a lot of clarity, and you're going to integrate what you have learned into your relationships, and what you have learned, about your work routines and even your day-to-day activities. And lessons are going to be like solidified in November. And there's also going to be Uranus trining Pluto in August. So Uranus is in your 10th house and Pluto is in your 6th house. So this is what you do on a day is going to get you through today. Like, it's literally going to get you, it's going to push you towards that extra step that you need to go. There's a harmonious transformation, that is in your home life, in your career, in what you do on a day. There's sudden breakthroughs in your professional and domestic life, and this can lead to this can lead to sudden changes and really life transformative progress. If you're willing to really see what you're doing, like Virgo, what are you doing today? What did you do today? Become aware of that. Did you let out any type of mental stress, emotions? Did you go for walks? Did you let out, and did you think about your energetic body? That is really the point. You have to think about your energetic body this year. We are energy based beings that cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred. You need to alchemize certain things on a day-to-day basis. Like Virgo, people expect a lot from you. And, sometimes just sitting down reading something, that's fun, that's funny. Watching something I think, sound would be something that's really big, can put you back on the right track. And you don't know that until you actually start doing it. Affirmations are really good for you as a Virgo rising. In December, Saturn and Neptune are going to end their retrograde, and Saturn in the 8th, Neptune in the 8th, bringing deep clarity. This is such, I think that December is a really profound month of ending any type of traumatic experiences that hold you back, or keep replaying them, or keep replaying the loops. There's so much growth in your psychological mind, and there's so much growth in you as an individual that is so visible at the end of the year that there's no way that the next year in 2027 that you're not contributing to the wellness of yourself and the wellness of the collective. You are learning how to restructure yourself. You're learning how to restructure things that are around you. You're learning how to accept yourself for who you are this year, and through other people, and it's really through the mind. It's really like, it's the mind. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but your mind can be so overwhelming, and you have to keep up with it, and you have to know what's wasteful, and literally create a trash can in your mind, Virgo, of just waste, things that don't even need you, or you don't even need in your mind, and start throwing it away. Not everything is useful, Virgo. Even though you're going to want to be as useful as possible, you have to be useful for yourself. And you have to take care of your health, and you have to take care of take care of your energetic body, your physical body. You have to eat right. And it's not saying that you can never eat a burger this year, but you have to really pay attention to your energetic body. You're having signs and signals and all types of things come within your body, and these things are very much heightened with Jupiter in that 12th house, that you cannot ignore. Like, your heart cannot ignore what's meant for you. Very tired. Okay, Virgo, that is all that I have for you. This year is going to be so rewarding for you. When you're willing to do the psychological work, and you're willing to step outside when you get upset or you're overwhelmed, you step outside or you start writing, your life is gonna change completely. You got a solar eclipse in your sign, a lunar eclipse in your sign. Hell yeah, Virgo. This is your year, and this is your year to build some type of impact for yourself and for others. Deep healing this year, but also liberation. This is a liberating year for you with Saturn and Neptune in your 8th house, in that conjunction of the 0 degree. That one is really impactful. I think the whole year that's gonna really impact you. The 8th house brings up so many different things for us to settle, but you rise stronger than any of us will rise. You will become stronger than any of us will be, or will know that we are. It's like you're stronger than you know, and this year is going to teach you that. And not that it's going to break you down. It's not going to break you down. you're going to be lifted up to see like, hey, I actually do deserve more. I actually do deserve, the things that I've been saying. I just have to do these things. I have to actually physically do these things. And so, yes, Virgo, that's all I have for you. Good luck this year in 2026. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if it was helpful for you and anyway. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, Virgo.